Hi everybody, good afternoon. Welcome to July's social media roundup. I'm going to give it a few moments just to let the notification go out there and get everybody to start joining in. But I just want to say hello and welcome and thank you for watching. My name's Natalie Luckham. I am the founder and director of a social media consultancy called Naturally Social, based here in the UK. So each month I live stream to my community, to my audience, to give you guys a roundup of all things social media for that month. So couple of things really before we get going. It's probably about 20 minutes long. We are going to talk about today Facebook, Twitter, Periscope and Snapchat. And guys, if you like what you see, then give me a like button, use the reactions that you get and show me some love. Also, if you could use the invite on your app, so you should have a little button in the bottom left hand corner that you can invite somebody to the broadcast that you think would find this useful, then please do, that would be great. And also you should have an option to subscribe. Hi Lynette, nice of you to join, thank you. If you have a button in the top right hand corner that says subscribe, then you'll be notified of when I start live streaming again in the future. So as I said, if you've got any comments or questions, then do pop them in the comments box as we go and I will get to them. If you think of anything afterwards, then please again just drop in the comment box or send me a message and I'd be happy to answer them. So here we go, let's start talking about Twitter first. Again, invite somebody into the broadcast that you think might be able to benefit by using the plus in the bottom left, or you can tag somebody in the comments if you're watching from a desktop. And stay tuned right away till the end because we're going to be talking about consistency as my top tip on social media today. Cool. So Twitter, biggest update this month on Twitter is the ability now to for anybody to request a verification of their account. So that coveted blue tick that you see some celebrities and musicians etc. Have against their Twitter account, you can now apply for one of those yourselves. There is a specific form, and I'll put the link into the comments once I've finished, that you need to complete in order to have it requested. But there's a few things you need to make sure that you've got on your Twitter account first. Make sure that you have an email address, a work-based email address, your website, and a verified phone number on your account before you start the verification process, before you submit the form. So they do say that the account has to be of public interest. Things like music, acting, politics, government, religion, business, journalism, or any other key interests. So that does open the scope up for a lot of businesses to now request to have the blue tick verification on their account. Why is that important? One, it's going to give you more authority in your arena, but also more authority on the app itself, because a lot of users will look to only follow, or will start looking to only follow accounts with the blue tick next to it. It's also a really great way, a kind of step in the right direction for Twitter to stop the level of harassment, cyberbullying that takes part on the platform. If you have a blue tick on your account, you are actually given an extra feature to only see and receive information and content from other accounts with blue authenticated ticks as well, verified ticks. So that's going to really cut through some of that harassment that takes place on the platform. So really good thing from Twitter there. As I said, I'll pop the link in the comment section afterwards for the form that you can fill in. Cool, let's talk about Periscope now. Biggest change that happened on Periscope this month is really the ability to be able to embed your Periscope live stream wherever you're able to embed Twitter. So I'm thinking websites, blogs, digital screens, if you have those in venues, etc. If you can embed a Twitter feed, you'll be able to now embed a Periscope live stream. Why is that great, you ask? That is because now you don't need your audience to know what Periscope is or really understand how to use it in order for your broadcasts to be seen by those people. So, you know, this is going to make it a, hi Marie, nice to have you here. This is going to make it a really important for businesses who are looking to utilise live streaming in a way of reaching a much wider demographic and audience. If you want more details about how to embed tweets, etc., then let me know. Okay, that was Twitter. Next, I'm going to move on to Facebook. So the biggest thing with Facebook this month is the algorithm change. What is an algorithm? That is how Facebook determines what content appears in a user's newsfeed. So it gives it an order of priority, and the recent algorithm change has meant that it's reprioritising content solely from friends and family to go into users' newsfeed, which means, sadly, as a business, if you have a business page, you are you're going to be noticing the effect of that, and you're going to be getting less engagement and less reach on your Facebook posts. So another reason when I talk about, you know, Facebook isn't the be-all and end-all of social media, you know, if you are a startup or a new business who's considering getting on board, you know, really have a think about, is Facebook the right place to get started? You know, if you've got the time and the resources to outsource it or get the training that you need to get you to the point where you can really capitalise on Facebook pages, then great. But if it's just a little old you, or one person that you know, then you know, it's going to take a lot of time and investment, is what I'm saying. But it doesn't mean to say it can't be done. It doesn't mean to say you can't get reach and you can't get engagement on Facebook pages. What it really is doing is making businesses think about the type of content that they're sharing. 3 things you need to make sure that your content does on Facebook. Is it entertaining? Is it useful? Is it informative to that person? And is it emotive? They are the 3 key things that are going to create engagement and conversation on your page. The more conversation, the more engagement your page gets or your status gets, the more it's going to be prioritised in people's newsfeed. And as such, thanks Kenny, it makes a better touch than, you know, the plain walls. Yes, so those key things, if you're using Facebook in part of your marketing or communication strategy, you need to focus on value for your audience and how can you get people to engage with you by focusing on those 3 things. The other thing with Facebook Live, which is the live streaming aspect of Facebook, they've now changed a few of the functionalities. You can now stream without comments and reactions showing. That's a great change really for beginners to broadcasting, beginners to live streaming, because if you recognise video, which by the way, if you're not using video yet, is part of your social media strategy, please sit down and have a think today about how live streaming can be used within your business or organisation. Yeah, so if you're new to live streaming and you're going to be using Facebook, being able to switch off the comments and reactions simply by swiping right is going to help eliminate distractions, which is just going to allow you to concentrate on delivery and content and what you're saying and what you're doing. You can also now live stream for up to 4 hours. So previously that was 90 minutes. If you had really expensive broadcasting equipment and a really you used an outsourced agency perhaps, then you were always able to broadcast for long periods of time by using Facebook coding. But what this does is now allows you to just simply use the Facebook Live feature of your page or your profile to live stream for longer. So that makes it more available to people who are perhaps working on a budget. Fab. So I'd be really interested to know if you guys out there are using live streaming in your business yet, and if not, if you're stuck to think how can I use live streaming full stop, do get in touch and ask me, and I'd love to help you. That really is the way social media is going. You need to have video in your social media strategy. Okay, what's time? Fabulous. Let's move on to Snapchat, because my Facebook Lives would not be anything without a good old Snapchat update, because we know I love Snapchat. Biggest things on Snapchat this month was the introduction of memories. So previous to this, the content that you created on Snapchat was only, it disappeared after 24 hours. Unless you saved it to your camera roll or took a screenshot. It has now built in an element called memories. This allows you to save all your posts, all the content that you create and the stories that you make into the app itself, which, you know, frees up your camera roll space, for example. But what you can then do with the content in your memories is put that back out to your followers at a later date, tomorrow, next week, next year. It also allows you to take video and photos from your camera roll and put them into your memories, which is a really interesting twist on the app. But I really believe that that's going to broaden its appeal to new users and to a wider demographic, to the older generation who might not appreciate the desire to send content that only lasts for 24 hours. But also I think that should be a much more appealing aspect to businesses, because there's going to be tons of archived information and posters and pictures that you have that you can subsequently promote and publicise to this new demographic of millennials that you want to target, without having to be overly consumed your time or strategic about, okay, how am I going to make this ephemeral content from day one all the time. So it's definitely a good feature, I think, and that's really going to, as I said, increase the appeal and grow the demographics on the app. The other thing is you can now share and recommend users on Snapchat. Again, one of the questions that I get a lot from businesses is, well, there's no search facility in Snapchat. How do I get people to follow me? And there's tons of ways you can do that, but they've now subtly introduced a option to recommend, we're calling it, people to your friends. So if you go to your story and you find somebody like myself, Nat Lux, and you press and hold on my story, you then get a little pop-up box that has a share symbol, and you can now send my story and in fact my username directly to a friend that you follow on Snapchat, which is genius ultimately, because it's highlighting that peer-to-peer recommendation, which, you know, there's nothing greater on social media than peer-to-peer recommendation. And as long as you use your Snapchat story to say, if you love what I do, use the recommendation and send this story to a friend. That's my top tip on Snapchat for growing your audience. Also, it's partnered with Bitmoji this month, so if you do follow me on Snapchat, you'll see my little cartoon character popping up here and there, making it a really fun way to create interesting and fun pictures. So if you are a business using Snapchat, by the way, already, I would implore you to remember to keep it fun and keep it creative. Utilise the stickers, utilise the drawing tools, utilise the filters, have fun with it. Okay, Snapchat, that was that. If you are interested in knowing more about how to use Snapchat for business, you can come along to my next workshop, which is on the 24th of August. That's in Salisbury. Details of that are on my Facebook page. And then lastly, two things from a personal note. I had somebody contact me who owns their own business page and said they had a message from a security page on Facebook saying if they didn't confirm their account, it was going to be shut down. That is a spam message. So if you do receive something like that, don't click the link and delete it and report that page to Facebook. Secondly, Pokemon Go. If everybody is in touch with the Pokemon Go craze, that's all cool. Just be safe when you're using it. I do love going out there and watching everybody just stuck to their phones walking. I mean, I think it's great. And again, take it back to businesses. There's so much opportunity here as a business for you to bring in custom and actually get people walking past if you're bricks and mortar using Pokemon Go. if you want to know more about that, drop me a message. Okay, summing that all up then, that was Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, Snapchat, and I want to finish off today with my top tip, which when you start using any social media, or even if you're already using social media, you need to be consistent. Hi Claire, hi Jess. You need to be consistent. You know, that doesn't mean what you say on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube all needs to be the same. It just means that you need to have a consistent approach to that specific channel that you use. You know, what's your voice going to be? Are you an authoritative company? Do you want to be informal? Are you going to use slang? You know, is it going to be short and snappy? Are you going to be comedic? Decide that voice and that tone that you want to employ, and be consistent about that delivery. Also be consistent about the frequency that you're posting. You know, even if you can only post once a week to Facebook, you know, that's fine, but make sure you post once a week to Facebook, because as you build those relationships with people and people begin to enjoy the content that you're creating, there's going to be an expectation there. So yeah, be consistent. Lastly, kind of along those same lines, if you are starting any new channel for your business, whether that be Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever you're using, please don't make the first post, buy this from us, or we sell this, or we do that. Always make your first ever update something along the lines of, hi, we are, or I am. Thank you for following us on Twitter, on Facebook. You can expect X, Y, and Z from us on this channel. We look forward to connecting with you. Build a picture. Tell people how they can, what they can expect, how they can interact with you. Because as I said, that starts to build an expectation, a relationship, trust. And what does that all equal? Sales and good reputation. Yeah. I think that's pretty much about it, guys. Today is just under the 20-minute mark. I'm sorry if that went a little bit too quick. If it didn't make sense, or if it did, show me some love using the reaction buttons. If you've got any follow-up questions, then do get in touch. Feedback, as always, is welcome. Take it easy, and I will see you very soon for my next Facebook Live. Have a great weekend. Bye!